The trees had already begun to lose their leaves, and the branches swayed gently in the cold breeze. The lamps lining the walking paths had just turned on, casting warm golden circles of light onto the ground. On one of the old wooden benches near the edge of the park sat a young girl. Her name was Emily Carter. At first glance, most people would have walked past her without a second thought. In a city as large and busy as New York, people had learned not to look too closely at strangers, especially those who seemed to carry the weight of hard times. Emily looked no older than 20. Her brown coat was worn and slightly too thin for the cold weather. The sleeves were frayed near the cuffs, and the zipper had been repaired with a small piece of thread. Her dark hair was tied loosely behind her head, and a faded backpack rested beside her on the bench. That backpack held everything she owned. A small notebook with a cracked cover, a thin blanket she used at night, a toothbrush, and a wrapped sandwich. Emily stared at the sandwich quietly, holding it in both hands. It wasn't much, just 2 slices of bread with a little cheese and lettuce inside. She had bought it earlier that afternoon from a small convenience store using the last few dollars she had. She hadn't eaten since the day before. Her stomach twisted painfully, reminding her again and again that she needed the food. But Emily didn't rush. Instead, she sat there for a long moment, watching the people passing by the park entrance. Couples walked together laughing. Joggers moved quickly along the paths. Parents pushed strollers while talking on their phones. Everyone seemed to have somewhere to go. Emily used to have places like that too. 6 months ago, she had worked at a small cafe not far from the park. It wasn't a glamorous job, but she loved it. She loved the smell of coffee in the morning and the friendly regular customers who stopped by every day. But one morning the owner had gathered the staff and told them the cafe was closing. Rising rent, too many bills, not enough customers. Just like that, Emily's job disappeared. At first she believed she would quickly find another one. She went to interviews, filled out applications, and walked across the city looking for opportunities. But weeks turned into months. Her savings slowly disappeared. Then came the hardest day of all, the day she couldn't pay the rent anymore. The landlord was polite, but firm. She had to leave. Since then, Emily had been sleeping wherever she could. Sometimes at shelters, sometimes on subway trains, and sometimes on quiet park benches like this one. Yet through everything that had happened, Emily tried to hold on to one small thing her mother had taught her. A habit. Her mother used to say something very simple. Kindness grows stronger when it becomes a habit. Emily remembered hearing those words almost every day when she was a child. Whenever they saw someone in need, her mother would stop and help, even if it was something small. A warm smile, a few coins, or a simple conversation with someone who felt invisible. At the time, Emily didn't understand why it mattered so much. But now she did, because when everything else in life disappeared, kindness was the one thing no one could take away. Emily slowly unwrapped the paper around the sandwich. The smell made her stomach tighten again. She lifted it slightly, ready to take the first bite. Then she noticed something. Someone else was sitting at the far end of the bench. An old man. She hadn't seen him arrive. He looked very thin, almost fragile, as if the cold wind might knock him over. His long grey beard moved slightly whenever the wind blew, and his hands trembled as he rubbed them together for warmth. His coat was older than Emily's, and the buttons didn't match. But what caught Emily's attention wasn't his clothes. It was the way he looked at the sandwich. Not with greed, not with desperation, just with quiet hunger, the kind that comes from being used to going without food. Emily looked down at the sandwich again. Her stomach growled loudly, almost as if it were arguing with her thoughts. You need it. You haven't eaten. For a few seconds she stayed perfectly still. Then she heard her mother's voice again in her memory. A hungry heart hurts more than a hungry stomach. Emily took a slow breath. Then she stood up. Walking toward the old man, she held the sandwich carefully in her hand. "Excuse me," she said gently. The old man looked up, surprised. "Yes." Emily extended the sandwich toward him. "You can have this." The old man blinked, clearly confused. "But, that's your food." Emily gave a small shrug, trying to make the moment feel less serious. "I'm okay," she said softly. "You look like you need it more." The old man studied her face carefully. For a moment, neither of them spoke. "You're hungry too," he said quietly. Emily smiled a little. "Maybe." He hesitated before accepting the sandwich. His hands trembled slightly as he unwrapped the paper. "Thank you," he whispered. Emily nodded and sat back down on the bench. The old man took a slow bite. His eyes closed briefly as if the simple food was the best thing he had tasted in days. Emily leaned back against the bench, pulling her coat closer around herself. Strangely, even though her stomach was still empty, she felt warmer. Sometimes kindness had that effect. But Emily didn't realize something important. Across the street, near the park entrance, a sleek black car had been parked quietly for several minutes. Inside the car sat a man in his early 40s wearing a dark coat. His name was Daniel Whitmore. He was the CEO of Whitmore Holdings, one of the most powerful companies in the city. Daniel had been waiting for his driver to finish a phone call when something unusual caught his attention. At first, he only noticed the girl sitting alone on the bench. But then he watched her stand up and give away her only food. Daniel leaned slightly forward in his seat. "Did you see that?" he asked quietly. His driver glanced toward the park. The girl gave him her sandwich. Daniel remained silent. In a city where millions of people passed each other every day without even making eye contact, a homeless girl had just given away the only thing she had. Daniel slowly opened the car door. "I'll be right back," he told his driver. He stepped onto the sidewalk and walked slowly toward the park entrance. From a short distance away, he watched the bench quietly. The old man continued eating, clearly grateful. And Emily simply sat there, calm and peaceful, as if giving away her food had been the most normal thing in the world. Daniel felt something unfamiliar stir in his chest. For years, his life had been about business deals, numbers, and success. But this moment reminded him of something simple, something powerful, kindness. And for the first time in a long time, Daniel Whitmore realized something. Sometimes the richest person in the city was not the one with the most money, but the one with the kindest habits. The building was tall and elegant, its glass walls reflecting the sky above. Inside, everything looked polished and expensive, marble floors, modern art on the walls, and employees dressed in sharp suits moving quickly between elevators. To most people, it was a symbol of power and success. But to Emily Carter, standing hesitantly outside the entrance, it felt like another world. She stared at the massive doors, unsure if she should even step inside. Her thin coat still carried the cold from the night before. Her one backpack rested on her shoulders, and her shoes were dusty from walking across the city. In her hand was a small piece of paper. On it was written an address and a simple message. "Come tomorrow morning, DW." Emily had hardly slept. The man who had spoken to her in the park the night before, Daniel Whitmore, had surprised her by asking a few questions about her life. Then he had written the address down and handed it to her. She hadn't believed him at first. But now she was here. Emily took a deep breath and slowly pushed the glass door open. Inside, the lobby felt warm and bright. The marble floor shined so much that she could almost see her reflection in it. A security guard near the front desk noticed her immediately. He frowned slightly and walked over. "Miss, can I help you?" Emily felt her face grow warm. I'm supposed to meet someone here." The guard glanced at her backpack and one coat. "Do you have an appointment?" Emily held out the small piece of paper. The guard looked at it. His eyes widened. Before he could say anything, a calm voice spoke from behind them. "She's with me." Both Emily and the guard turned around. Walking across the lobby was Daniel Whitmore. The guard instantly straightened his posture. "Good morning, Mr. Whitmore." Daniel nodded politely before looking at Emily. "Good morning, Emily." Emily blinked in surprise. "You remembered my name." Daniel smiled slightly. "It was written on your notebook." Emily looked down at her backpack, feeling a little embarrassed. Daniel gestured toward the elevators. "Come upstairs." Emily hesitated for a moment but then followed him. The elevator ride felt strangely quiet. Emily watched the numbers climb higher and higher until the doors finally opened onto the top floor. The hallway was wide and bright, with large windows showing an incredible view of the entire city. Daniel led her into a spacious office. Emily stopped in the doorway. She had never seen anything like it. The office was enormous, with a massive desk, soft chairs, shelves filled with books, and windows stretching from floor to ceiling. Far below, the streets of New York looked tiny. Emily felt suddenly very small standing there. Daniel noticed her expression and smiled gently. "Relax," he said. He walked toward a small table and poured something into a mug. Moments later, he handed it to her. Hot chocolate. Emily wrapped her cold hands around the warm cup. The heat felt wonderful. "Thank you," she said softly. Daniel sat down across from her. For a moment, he simply studied her quietly. "You didn't have to come," he said. Emily shrugged. "I was curious." Daniel nodded. "That's fair." She took a small sip of the hot chocolate. It was the best thing she had tasted in days. Finally, Emily asked the question that had been on her mind all night. Why did you ask me to come here? Daniel leaned back slightly in his chair. Because yesterday you gave away the only food you had. Emily looked down. It wasn't a big deal. Daniel shook his head slowly. In this city, it is. He stood up and walked toward the large window. Every day I see people step over others in need. Everyone is too busy, too focused on themselves. He turned back toward her. But you had nothing and you still chose to give. Emily looked a little uncomfortable. My mom taught me that. Daniel smiled. What did she say? Emily thought for a moment. She said kindness becomes powerful when it becomes a habit. Daniel nodded thoughtfully. Your mother was a wise woman. He walked back to the desk and picked up a folder. Then he slid it gently across the table toward her. Emily looked down at it. What's this? An opportunity, Daniel said. She slowly opened the folder. Inside was a document with the company logo of Whitmore Holdings printed at the top. Emily's eyes widened as she read the title. Community Outreach Assistant Employment Offer. She looked up immediately. Wait, this is a job. Daniel nodded. Yes. Emily shook her head quickly. But I don't have experience working in an office like this. That's okay, Daniel replied calmly. You can learn. She flipped through the pages nervously. Why would you hire me? Daniel answered without hesitation. Because the work we do in our community programs requires something most people don't have. Emily looked confused. And what's that? Daniel smiled slightly. A habit of kindness. Emily felt tears suddenly filling her eyes. For months she had felt invisible in the city. Just another person people walked past without noticing. But now someone was offering her a chance. A real chance. You're serious? She asked quietly. Completely. Emily wiped her eyes quickly and laughed a little. This is the strangest interview I've ever had. Daniel chuckled. Technically, you passed the interview yesterday in the park. Emily looked at the document again. Then she slowly nodded. Yes, she said. Daniel extended his hand across the desk. Welcome to the team, Emily. She shook his hand, still hardly believing what was happening. Outside the window, the busy city continued moving as usual. But for Emily Carter, everything had just changed. All because of one small habit. The habit of kindness.